Hey guys, how's it going? Josh here, and this is actually sort of an apology video. So it's been a while since I've uploaded, and my next video was originally going to be a review of this iPad 6th gen uh, iPad Pro with the M2 chip, and how amazing of a device it is for artists. Um, but the M2 iPad Pro is going to have to wait. So this video is explaining where I've been for the past few weeks. It has been sort of a painful and scary experience, especially as an artist, because I got shingles. Yeah, shingles. I got shingles in my eye. So I'm in my mid 30s, and I am currently in the middle of a shingles outbreak that is really affecting my eye, my left eye. So I've done tons of research on shingles. I have visited doctors and optometrists, and wow, wow. I got shingles in my eye. Um, just excuse me a moment. So I thought I'd take a minute or 10 to explain, just sort of what has happened and how I have been dealing with it as a tattoo artist. I'll admit I haven't been dealing with it phenomenally well. Um, so it all started on vacation. Now I had intended to skip a week of video posting because I was going to be on vacation in Tennessee with my family. Well, the whole vacation, for some reason, the entire left side of my face felt really sensitive to the touch, almost like I had a sunburn or a really bad fever. I'm sure you know what I'm talking about. Um, and then my left eye started watering nonstop, and it kind of burned. But I wasn't too concerned about it. I didn't know what was happening, but I wasn't concerned about it. By the time we made it home from that weekend, though, I had this rash right here. I don't know how well it's showing up on video, but I have sort of a dry skin rash on my forehead. And the way shingles presents is really weird. So it always stays on one side of the body or the other every time every time you have an outbreak. Um, So I had this weird rash on my forehead, and then my eye started hurting worse. So I spoke to my wife. I was like, I'm actually getting kind of worried here because I don't know what's going on. So I want to go to the walk in. I went to the walk in clinic, and then they told me I had shingles. I was like, huh? What? So, for any of you who are unfamiliar with shingles, it's basically an adult chickenpox outbreak. Um, Now, I was part of the last generation that really had like chickenpox parties. So my parents intentionally made sure I got chickenpox because chickenpox itself as an adult can be deadly. But once you have chickenpox as a child, you still run the risk of getting shingles as an adult. So it's the same virus. It stays with you forever. It's technically a herpes virus that most of the population has. But shingles as an adult still sucks. It's a very painful rash. And in my case, the rash went from my forehead into my eye and covered most of this side of my face. Like I had some on my nose. I still have some in my eyebrow. And then I started to get a little bit on the bottom of my jaw here. Most of it's gone. This piece on my forehead is still visible, but it's not painful anymore. But yeah, walk-in clinic. Um, Told me I had shingles, and they got me in with an optometrist the next day because shingles in the eye is actually very dangerous for the eye. So that freaked me out a little bit. Well, first visit to the optometrist, they told me not to worry too much about it, that it wasn't really affecting my eye yet. Like it was just painful, but it wasn't going to damage my vision as far as they could tell. So I finished up my round of antivirals and some steroids. And the day I finished my antivirals and steroids, my eye suddenly got very swollen. And when I could open it, I couldn't see. It was like there was a thick fog. So I wear glasses. Imagine like opening up the dishwasher after it just ran and your glasses fogging up. That's what it looked like through this eye constantly. So I was always afraid that, going blind meant that things would get dark on me. That's not what happened at all. Everything just lost contrast. So for artists out there, you understand what I'm talking about when I say it just lost contrast. Everything started going gray and blurry. I did not like that. So I freaked out, went back to the optometrist. And they're like, "Oh, it's good that you came in." And then they put me on a much, 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 much longer course of antivirals and targeted steroids. So I was on oral steroids. Now I am on steroid eye drops 3 times a day, the antivirals 3 times a day, and it's a very long course of both. So I've got about another 2.5 weeks on all of these medications. So that's uh that's where I'm at right now. So I did finally get some relief, not a ton. It's actually more painful than I expected. So through the first round of antivirals, the antivirals and the steroids really helped control the pain and the light sensitivity. Yeah, that's another thing, light sensitivity. I'll get to that in a minute. But right now, I'm 2.5 weeks into this shingles outbreak, and the worst parts about it are definitely the light sensitivity and eye fatigue. Now, for an artist, especially a tattoo artist, this has a huge impact on me, which is why this is most definitely the scariest thing I've ever experienced as an artist. Now, not as a person. I think being a dad in general sort of comes with its own existential greatest fears ever. So I am constantly in a state of fear about my children. Um, but as an artist, this is the scariest. And I've done horrible, horrible things to my body that didn't scare me as much as this. So I've broken my hand. I've cut my index finger off. I've done bad things to the tool that I use to make art. But losing my vision is one of the scariest things uh, that I've ever been faced with. And hopefully, I don't actually lose a whole lot of the vision in my left eye. Like it's getting better every day with the steroids, um, but it's still not at 100% for me, which I never was at 100%. But it's still not there for me yet. Now I can deal with some blurry vision out of one eye, but I cannot deal with the fog. And I'd say the worst part about this for me so far is the light sensitivity. So I do have a big spotlight, like you can see. It's a very bright light with a cargo net on it to contain the light shining directly on me for this video. And that's pretty painful. But the light sensitivity right now is so bad that I can't go outside. So my lawn is becoming overgrown. It's hard for me to drive, so my wife tends to drive me everywhere right now. Um, the light sensitivity is horrible. Like it is so bad that I had to have my son help me walk through a parking lot, and he's 6. Um, so the light sensitivity definitely the worst part of this, because it's more than just sensitivity. The light sensitivity is turning into pain, and that's no fun. Uh, Second worst part about it is definitely the eye fatigue. So I can only draw or tattoo for just a couple of hours before I'm done for the day. Like it takes that much out of me, because I don't know the actual reasons, but my theory is that this eye compensating for this eye is wearing this eye out. So uh, I'm doing what I can, and I promise I will review the iPad because wow, it's an amazing device. I didn't expect it to be that good. But that video is going to have to wait, and I wanted you all to know exactly what was going on with me. So I will also use the community tab here on YouTube to make sure that I keep everyone updated with what's going on. I probably will not do a follow-up video on the shingles unless something major happens and there's a plot twist. But right now, shingles itself is the plot twist for me. Um, yeah. So if you're still here, thanks for watching. Uh, if you want to learn more about art, productivity, business, and sort of the philosophical side of how I think of business as an artist, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel. That's not what this video is about. This video is just an apology for disappearing for so long. But until next time, take it easy, everybody. Keep drawing, painting, writing, singing, dancing your heart out, and we'll talk soon.